So how come Joe passed on this?
Wouldn't have a clue, mate.
I mean, normally a CI job should be out the door before you finish asking. Or have you two out of blue or something?
VKC to Mount Thomas 509.
Mount Thomas 509 receiving.
Have a report of skeletal remains found at Lot 11, Bathsheba Road. See Mr Henderson. No further details at this stage.
Receive that VKC ETA 5 minutes.
Thanks, 509.
Well, the Coldberg's going to have to wait.
Joe's kicking herself around the office. Eat your heart out, Parish.
Well, they're an absolutely awesome group, so I got tickets for me and Sam tomorrow night.
In Melbourne?
Yeah.
I hope they're suitable, are they?
Yeah, they rock, they're loud, they're spunks.
That'll be right. I'll speak to Grace. Listen, I don't want Sam seeing any band that advocates drug abuse or killing police, for that matter.
Yeah, I don't think these ones qualify.
I hope they can play.
What are you doing?
Traffic reports. You want to help?
No.
You should have gone with PJ.
Oh.
Mr Henderson.
Over here. Been surveying the block for development. Couldn't believe it when we struck bones.
Well, they just said skeletal remains. They look human.
It's you or me, mate.
Jonesy, get on the blower. We need all hands for a search, plus crime scene and homicide.
Joe's really going to be kicking herself this time, eh? Mount Thomas 509 to VKC.
We have Mount Thomas 900 to 2 local. VKC to Mount Thomas 900, go to 2 local 509.
Mount Thomas 900 receiving.
Yeah, what do you got, Evan?
A shallow grave out on
Beersheba Road. Remains look human. PJ requests all hands for a line search in the door knock, plus the crime scene.
plus homies.
Receive that.
Oh, is Joe there?
Yeah, I'll be there to take over from you ASAP, Jonesy.
No.
PJ and I are doing just fine. I just wanted to say thanks, mate.
Hey, get a shot of this, mate.
Crime scene's on their way from St David's. Homie's on the road as we speak.
You want me to take over from Jonesy from here, Peach?
No, Jonesy's up to speed. But what I need you to do is door knock the houses across the street with Ben.
And ask what? Did you happen to see a body being buried here a century
Just get
ago?
on with it, Joe. Someone's nose out of joint.
Not with you.
Peach, got something.
God, I haven't seen one of these for yonks.
Wild man. Denim. Not familiar.
No, it's menswear. It was a really bad look. I used to own a pair of their jeans.
Bit of a fashion victim in our youth, were we?
No, just very trusting at the time.
Well, thank you. If you do hear anything, just listen up.
Yeah.
I lived there 3 months.
There's no one home at mine.
Ben, here!
Joe, you okay? Joe?
Right, so she's up there, unsteady on her feet, stumbles, falls.
Hang on. She can see the gravesite from here.
Sorry?
So, she's been watching the land being cleared and surveyed.
And the point you're making is...
The cases are obviously connected.
Check out crime scene, will you? See if anything else is turned up.
Yeah, sure.
Hello?
Hey, how are they connected?
The old lady could see the work going on.
So she got so depressed that her view has been destroyed, she just chucked herself down the stairs.
You're the one who doesn't believe in coincidence,
It's not a coincidence, it's just two bodies.
100 metres apart.
100 metres and 10 or 20 years apart. Now, if you don't mind, we have a suspicious death to investigate.
Joe, just establish your lady's identity and inform her next of kin.
Oh, no ID.
bury someone in a shallow grave, you remove ID. It's one of what you might call the ground rules.
ASSPI. Well, there's a blast from the past.
You gonna let me in on the secret?
Concert ticket. Glass Spider tour.
Wow, David Bowie. I went to that concert with my first boyfriend.
Major Tom, Ziggy Stardust, great stuff.
Next thing you'll be telling me you like Barbara Streisand.
A girl dragged me along.
Stop trying to prove you're straight. So, for the big prize, the year was?
Oh, that would have been Darlene Craig, so that would have been the late 80s.
Here we go. Glass Spider Tour. Kooyong Stadium, Melbourne, November the 18th to the 23rd, 1987.
Right, so she was alive in November 87.
And Sheila Gardner was already living in that house.
Sorry?
Sheila Gardner, the old lady we found in the house opposite. She was living there since the early 80s. Got a gas account plus every other piece of paper she's ever
So,
received.
is it too much to hope that some of these pieces of paper might have the names of her next of kin so we can inform them?
Well, not yet.
Let's talk to the font of all wisdom, shall we?
Young woman missing in late 87.
You were back in Mount Thomas by then?
Oh, yeah, well and truly. I hate those cases. There's no closure for the parents. They keep thinking maybe their kid's alive out there somewhere.
Got a possible name?
Yeah, you may have found the body of Eliza Haynes. She's about 16 at the time. Her mother, Carol, used to come in asking if we had anything new. But eventually she stopped. Break your heart.
That's Eliza's. Oh, God. I always knew, I suppose, but... Well, you just keep hoping, don't you?
You're sure it's her bag?
The writing's hers.
Mrs. Haynes, she's written here E for B.
Eliza for Barry. Barry Hoffman. He was her first boyfriend.
And was she seeing him when she disappeared?
They went to a concert together.
Yeah, David Bowie. We found the ticket in the bag.
He said they had a fight, and she just walked off. And that was it. Vanished.
Mrs. Haynes? Is this Eliza and Barry?
Her father took that a week before she disappeared. A year later, he died.
Blanket.
Is this blanket yours?
No.
Please, it could be important.
It's Barry's. Why?
We found fragments of a similar blanket with Eliza's body.
Where was she found? Where?
A vacant block in Bathsheba Road.
But Barry said she disappeared in Melbourne. The police suspected him, but... And I always said, no, not Barry. He's such a nice boy. So about Melbourne, I believed him. And she's always been here, just a few blocks away.
We're waiting on the autopsy and dental records, but it is her.
There was a boyfriend, Barry Hoffman. Eliza's mother said he was investigated at the time.
Oh, yeah. Prime suspect. But Carol wouldn't have a bar of it. She reckoned he adored Eliza, wouldn't harm a hair of her head.
Had $1 every time I'd heard that about a murderer, I could retire.
As I remember, they went to Melbourne to that concert. Had a fight afterwards. She ran off. He followed her, but he lost her in the crowd.
Oh, good story.
Well, we couldn't shake him on it.
You know anything else about him?
Well, over the years, he's been reported a bit for hanging around schools. I mean, he's never approached anyone, never touched anyone, just hung over the fence and watched.
So, back then, no body, no forensic, no case.
Except now we have the concert ticket. It was never torn. They never actually went. We've caught him in his first lie.
Thanks for coming in, Mr. Hoffman.
He said you'd found Eliza.
We'd just like to run through the last time you saw her.
I've run through it 1,000 times. We went to the David Bowie concert. We had a fight on the way out. She ran off, got lost in the crowd. That was it.
You never went to the concert, mate. Ticket was never torn.
We fought before the concert. Before we even left Mount Thomas. I went on my own.
So why the story?
I came back, she was gone. I thought she'd run away with someone else. I felt like an idiot, so I made up that stupid yarn, OK? I couldn't take it back.
You had another boyfriend, is that it?
Not that I knew about.
I'd like you to look at this photograph. And these pieces of an identical checked rug.
Yeah?
Is there anything you'd like to say at this time?
There's lots of rugs like that.
These fragments were found wrapped around Eliza's remains.
I don't know where this is going.
Your girlfriend's remains are wrapped in a rug identical to the one you own. You've lied to the police for years about the events on the night she disappeared, and you don't know where this is going?
Look, I admitted I lied and I'm sorry. But you can't prove that's my rug, and I've got nothing more to say.
Joe, I don't care about her gas accounts or her phone bills or her rates notices. I just want her next of kin informed and this case out the door. Yeah, I'm looking. Everyone's got an address book or a teledex, something like that.
Well, I thought I bought everything.
You're going to have to go back and have another look.
Sergeant, could you sign Mr. Hoffman out, please?
Yeah, sure.
You like to hang over school fences watching the little kiddies, Mr. Hoffman?
People got the wrong idea. I see footy or cricket being played, I watch.
Paige, I'm going back out to Sheila Gardner's house. Is there anything in particular I should be looking for?
Well, it's up to you. It's not my case.
Yeah, I'm all right. Is the kid all right?
What are you doing in the house, mate? What's your name?
Name?
Yes, your name.
I don't remember. I don't remember anything. Maybe I got a thing where you lose your memory.
Amnesia?
Yeah, maybe I got that.
Yeah, and maybe I'm the Easter Bunny, mate.
Give us a name.
She already asked me. I don't remember.
You broke into a dead lady's house. Do you remember why you did that?
No.
Did you know Sheila Gardner?
Who?
She's the lady whose house you were in.
I was.
Come on, you're not making things easier for yourself.
What are you scared of?
I'm not scared of anything.
Has it got something to do with the skeleton we found across the road from the house? You knew about that, did you?
No.
Is the skeleton something to do with you and the old lady? Did she threaten you about it?
What is she on about?
Did you threaten her?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Joe? Evan?
Hey?
Can you look after the boy in there? Reality check. What is going on in there?
The skeleton was found opposite Sheila Gardner's house, the same day her body's found inside. Yet now I catch that kid in her house. I mean, the three things have got to be connected, right?
It could be, but don't have to be.
The skeletal remains are of a teenager, right? The boy's a teenager. I mean, maybe Sheila Gardner was a serial abuser.
Parish? Sheila Gardner was a respectable maiden lady and a nurse with a lifetime of service to this community.
Well, I have to speculate.
No, you don't. What you have to do is find the next of kin.
Have you found a teledex or an address book?
Yes.
Then look inside it and see if you can find a relative, a lawyer, something. Then you can contact the relatives and let them know that Sheila Gardner is tragically deceased.
Yeah, but the kid in there can help us find out what happened.
Kids break into empty houses all the time. They've been doing it since Stone Age boys broke into empty caves. Sergeant Gallagher can take care of the boy and you can get on with your job.
Thanks, Constable.
Jeez. You know, my name's Ben Stewart. What's yours?
John Doe.
John Doe.
Well, I saw it in the movie. When you've got amnesia, that's what they call it.
Okay, John. Look, I've dealt with amnesiacs before, and I've got to tell you, it's a very serious condition, requiring hospitalisation. Lots of needles, brain surgery even. Sometimes, though, people get spontaneous remission and they recover their memory so they don't have to go to hospital.
And this could happen at any time.
Like right now.
It's all blank.
Rightio. Off to the doctor's then, eh? Okay, mate, this is your last chance. You talk to us now or we hand you over.
Well, I saw him in as John Doe.
Oh, hi, Brad.
Do you know this young man?
Of course I know him. He was in my husband's scouts group. Not in trouble, are we, Brad?
Yeah, is Mr. Corby back yet? Thanks.
Is that Ellis Corby, the solicitor?
Yeah, he's in the teledex, probably handled her will and things. Hi, Mr. Corby, Constable Parish, Mount Thomas Police. Yeah, I was wondering if you had a client, Sheila Gardner, Beersheba Road. Sad business, actually. We may have found her body this morning. We're trying to get in contact with next of kin.
Boss's office.
Yep, right. Thank you very much. Okay, thanks, bye. Yeah, Sheila Gardner had a nephew. Corby didn't have a number, but,
Yeah, I'll try and find him for you.
yeah, that'd be great. Thanks. Sorry, just found a nephew for Sheila Gardner.
Oh, good. We've got a name for the boy, but when he was examined, he was covered with bruises.
Am I being accused of something here?
Some of them are quite old, but some of them are recent.
Did he say I got rough with him?
Joe, he says he can't remember how he got them.
He ran out of the house, I chased him, he collided with the surveyor, helped him up and brought him in here.
Well, it could have been the collision with the surveyor, I suppose. You'd better type up a statement detailing what happened.
I didn't manhandle a kid, okay?
No one's saying you did, but these days you've got to watch your back.
Oh, like the good old days, eh? Give him a thick ear and tell him not to do it again.
Just get on with whatever it is you're doing, Parish.
Did you find Sheila's nephew yet?
Hey, give me a break. I've only just started
Mount
looking.
Thomas Police, Sergeant Gallagher speaking. Yeah, Ben? All right. OK, leaving now. See you soon. Bye.
Any explanation on the kid's bruises?
No, but the hospital's releasing him, so Ben and I will drive him home.
Here we go. G. Delaney. There's only one in the phone book.
Is this Sheila Gardner's next of kin we're talking about?
Yeah, well, possibly.
If there's any possibility at all, you don't phone a death notice through. You take the time and go to the house.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do.
Oh.
G'day. What's the matter? What's happened? Are you all right, Brad?
I'm fine.
Brad was apprehended earlier in a vacant house. He claimed to have amnesia. He wouldn't give us his name.
Go to your room. I'll talk to you later. Teenage boys. Is he in serious trouble?
Not that we know about.
With this house, what was he doing?
Well, it belonged to a Miss Gardner, Sheila Gardner. I don't suppose it's possible you know her?
Why do you ask that?
So you've heard the name?
Oh, years ago. Bit of a town legend. I haven't heard so much lately. No, if that's all I...
No, I'm afraid not. No, we were having Brad checked at the hospital for amnesia, and they found bruises all over his body.
That. He bruises very easily. He's always in scrapes, falling out of trees, getting hurt at football. You don't think I beat him, do you?
Do you?
No. All the years I tried to have a child. He's my little miracle. I'd never beat him.
Is there some kind of problem?
No, I've been given this address for Gregory Delaney.
That's my ex-husband. Why?
Well, I need to speak to him.
I don't know where he is. He went to the Northern Territory. He hasn't been in contact for nearly a year. Because he doesn't want to pay child support.
Right, well, can I get his last address? We need to contact him. I'm afraid his aunt, Sheila Gardner, was found dead this morning.
Mrs. Delaney here is Brad's mother. Your amnesia boy?
He broke into his great-aunt's house.
I don't know anything about this.
Not even that your husband was Miss Gardner's nephew?
Why didn't you mention that?
There was a family rift. I didn't want to talk about it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to deal with my son.
I have a horrible suspicion we're going to be down to detailed forensic on this one. Here's Fiber's DNA if we get that lucky.
But that woman, Helen Delaney, is seriously weird. She denied knowing Sheila Gardner, her ex-husband's aunt.
Joe, why are you telling us this?
Because her son was caught breaking into Sheila's house and he just so happens to be covered in bruises. If you just stop and look into this, it might save you a whole lot of work.
How?
Because it's got something to do with your case.
Well, where's your evidence?
Well, you tell him, Sarge. Ben?
There's no evidence linking the two cases, Joe.
Mate, we've got some evidence. Come and see me.
Just a beer, thanks, Chris.
Sad thing about Sheila Gardner, wasn't it? She was a lovely old thing.
Yeah, I'm not talking to you.
I'm not chucking out your theories, Joe. I've just got priorities, that's all.
You don't give me credit for anything.
But that's not true.
Can't investigate a case. My opinion counts for nothing. I'm incapable of looking after a teenager.
How long are you going to punish me over Sam? It was her idea to move in with Tom and Grace, not mine.
Oh, didn't that suit you?
She, didn't pay. Do you want it on your tab, Peach?
The school says there are absolutely no indications of Brad being bullied. No welfare reports on the family. No possible reason for the bruising, except...
Except what?
Oh, don't go there.
Except a struggle with Sheila Gardner resulting in her death.
In your opinion?
When I was a kid, I was covered in bruises. It wasn't from killing old ladies.
Yeah, but
nothing, Constable. It's not a suspicious death at the moment.
Look, if the autopsy says different, we will investigate.
Yeah, Constable Parish, Mount Thomas Police. I was wondering if the autopsy on Sheila Gardner had been performed yet. She came in yesterday morning. Yeah, thanks.
Go slow. Sullivan's just signed the warrant to search Barry Hoffman's house.
And you'll be wanting bodies to assist.
Anyone ever tell you you are beautiful when you're angry?
I'm not angry, Eddie. I'm just tired. You already got Constable Jones. You can have Senior Stewart and Constable Parish.
Sarge, I'm chasing up the autopsy on Sheila Gardner.
She's not going to get any deader than she already is.
No, I'm afraid I can't wait. There's an urgent 16-year-old job to attend to, so I'll call you back.
What are they looking for?
Anything that might have a bearing on the death of Eliza Haynes.
You seriously think I'm a suspect in that? I loved Eliza. When she disappeared, I never married. I never even had a serious girlfriend after her.
Barry, if you are innocent, your best shot is to help us as much as you can.
That way we can eliminate you from our inquiries as soon as possible.
BJ, Detective Sergeant, got something.
That button we found at the crime scene? These are identical. There's one missing from the cuff.
Well done, that man.
I'm not helping in the house.
So how are they going?
Jones is the hero of the hour. He's just found an old jacket with a missing button. As if they didn't make a zillion of those buttons.
Well, PJ did say that manufacturer came and went pretty quick.
Oh, just what I needed, an expert in button witness.
Why don't you take your mind off and bag that stuff up for us, will you?
In case you put a signed confession on the fridge.
Well, listen, if we don't do it, they'll want it.
It's the address and phone number of Helen and Brad Delaney.
Yeah?
He's in touch with them. Yeah, and Helen was married to Sheila Gardner's nephew, remember?
Joe, I think he may have just found our missing link.
Yeah. Eliza's grave. Bones, bag with unused David Bowie ticket inside, button from unusual jacket. Across the road, Sheila Gardner. Died or was killed within hours of the body being found. She's the aunt of Helen Delaney's ex. Great aunt to Brad the amnesiac, he of the mysterious bruises. And he was found in Sheila's house within hours of her death. But now we find that Barry Hoffman, boyfriend of Eliza, owns a similar jacket to the one whose button was found in Eliza's grave. Plus, he lied about what happened the night Eliza went missing. And he has some sort of connection to Helen and or Brad, who are linked to Sheila, who lives less than 100 metres from the gravesite.
Well, it could all mean something.
It could.
Prelim autopsy results on Sheila Gardner. She died of a heart attack shortly before or after the fall.
So the heart attack could have caused the fall, or the fall could have caused the heart attack. So she could have died of natural causes.
Boss.
Well, she has extensive bruising, looks like finger marks, which indicate she could be involved in some sort of struggle.
See?
And we also have some information on Eliza Haynes' skeleton. Dental records confirm that it is her, and her pelvis has parturition pits.
What? So she'd had a child?
Yes.
Put that on the board.
Where?
Good point. Where does a child fit in?
They could have a grandchild somewhere.
Well, the doctors did say that Eliza had given birth, that's all we know.
Oh, I do hope so. Oh, please. Please, God. I mean, that way it wouldn't all be just waste.
I understand. My mother would have felt the same way. But we don't want to get your hopes up.
You already have.
Did you know at the time that she was pregnant?
No, she didn't say.
Any idea why?
Well, I would have been there for her, but her father...
He wouldn't have been happy.
No, Eliza would have been scared of his reaction.
Mrs. Haynes, do you have any idea who the father might have been?
Only Barry. Eliza was a very good girl. If she gave herself to anyone, it would have been Barry.
Should I tell you?
No, Constable Obsessive. You did the digging, you did the telling.
Sheila Gardner's midwifery certificate.
But she was a nurse.
Triple certificated, they used to call it. Maybe still do. My Auntie Fleur was one.
Right, so Eliza's pregnant. She knows her father will crack it, so she goes to a midwife.
Probably stays with her. Dear Miss Gardner, Merry Christmas and thanks for everything. Love, Eliza.
Is it dated?
Christmas, 1987.
Well, I thought she went missing in November, 87.
I mean, how long could you hide a pregnancy for?
Varies by 6 months, it's pretty obvious.
So Eliza can't hide it from her parents anymore. She and Barry fake a disappearance. She moves in with Sheila Gardner.
3 months later, February 88, she gives birth.
Well, you know, our calculations could be off.
Well, I don't think so. Guess who was born February 1988?
You're kidding.
Captain Amnesia, Brad Delaney, the supposed son of Sheila Gardner's nephew.
Hang on. What was it that Helen Delaney said to us about having him?
She was saying how she'd never heard him, that all the years I've tried to have a child, he's my little miracle.
So we think Eliza Haynes gave birth to the child we now know as Brad Delaney, and that Sheila Gardner gave him to her childless nephew and his wife.
Well, that's what we're assuming, yeah.
It still doesn't explain why Sheila then murdered Eliza.
Parish, there is nothing to...
Well, the game plan must have been for Eliza to have the baby, go home and say she ran away for a while. Except she never got home. She got a shallow grave, courtesy of Sheila Gardner.
But it was Barry Hoffman's button we found in the grave.
Yeah, so maybe Barry was in on it too.
And maybe Sheila had nothing to do with it. One denim jacket with a missing button. One identical button from Eliza's grave. One unused concert ticket.
Okay.
One photo of you and Eliza on a rug. Fragments of an identical rug from Eliza's grave.
Enough.
Why is it enough, Barry?
I've had enough.
You got her pregnant. She was pregnant, wasn't she, Barry?
Yeah. I killed her.
And how did you do that, Barry?
How?
Yes, how? How did you kill her?
I stabbed her. I just got a knife and I stabbed her.
Whereabouts?
In the chest. I just kept stabbing and stabbing, and then she and the baby were dead. I buried them there.
Barry Hoffman has just given us a false confession.
We checked with the coroner. There would have been nicks and cuts to Eliza's rib bones, and there were no fetal bones in the grave either.
And we know she'd already given birth.
So if he didn't do the crime, why say he did?
He's shielding someone?
Mike?
His son, Brad Delaney, mate.
The kid's hardly a suspect in his mother's death.
No, but he might be in Sheila Gardner's.
Well, what motive would he have for killing her?
What if he found out that Sheila killed his mother?
So if you're right and Barry had found out what Brad had done...
Look, all those schools Barry's been hanging around, he's been watching his son grow up through the fence. He probably feels a certain obligation to him.
And protects him by pretending his son never existed. You lied to us, Barry. There's no evidence that says Eliza was stabbed. Now, you know who your son is, don't you? I put it to you that the son you and Eliza Haynes had is Brad Delaney.
And I have to tell you now that we're looking at Brad as a suspect in the death of Sheila Gardner.
No.
He was found inside a house within a few hours of her death.
He didn't kill the old woman.
Well, how would you know that?
Because it was me that killed Sheila Gardner.
Go on.
She found me with the body all those years ago. We knew we were both in trouble, so she helped me bury her.
Then why kill Sheila now?
Well, she knew the builders were going to find Eliza's body. She was going to go to U-Blokes and confess. I went around the night before last to try and talk her out of it. She wouldn't listen. We struggled. She ended up dead.
If you'd said this early on, Barry, we might have believed you. But you can't really lie straight in bed, can you?
I swear I'm telling the truth.
Brad was severely bruised, like he was in a violent struggle.
No. That's got nothing to do with this. The bruising may be related to a medical condition.
What?
He is my son. And Eliza's. She had a medical condition. Don't tell me the boy's got it too.
Paige? Eliza had von Willebrand's disease. It's a lot like haemophilia. It causes excessive bleeding. Childbirth is particularly dangerous.
And without proper medical supervision, thanks?
The mother can easily bleed to death. Like Barry said, it can also cause excessive bruising, so if Brad has inherited the disease...
He didn't need to struggle with an old woman. He could have got those bruises from getting out of bed in the morning.
So Barry's confession about Sheila's death could be true after all.
Except there's not one scrap of forensic evidence linking him to Sheila's house.
At the time, I just knew she bruised and bled easily. Nosebleeds were major, a trip to the dentist. She just bled. She got pregnant. We didn't know what to do.
Then you found Sheila Gardner.
Someone told us about her. How she'd take girls in, arrange adoptions. I watched her bleed to death. It was so quick. So quick. Sheila was panicking. She was dead. But Eliza...
Just take your time.
You buried her? This business of you killing Sheila, do you want to withdraw that confession?
No, that's what happened.
And when Sheila gave the baby away, it was to Mr. and Mrs. Delaney, wasn't it?
Sheila brought the baby to us. She told me the mother had died. I was to take the baby and forget where he came from.
You knew that people thought Eliza Haynes had been murdered.
Yes?
All the time the investigation was going on.
Yes.
And you stayed silent.
I was desperate for a baby. Eliza didn't want it, I did.
Her parents were frantic. They thought she was dead.
She was dead. And they'd started their grieving. There wasn't any point in making it worse.
You took their grandchild.
Brad's not their grandchild. He's my son. I bought him in blood and tears. And I may go to hell for him yet. But he stays my son.
I think we could all use a break here.
She just switched, like two different people. Grieving woman, then suddenly frightening.
People care for their children. They'll do anything for them.
If that woman I saw thought she could lose her son...
She could do anything.
Senior Sergeant Croydon. Yeah, hi, how are you? Is it important? Yeah, she's right here. I'll put her on. Just a sec. Sam, reminding you about tonight's concert.
Sam, I'm up to my ears in a case in here at the moment. Look, is there any possibility you could take someone else? Look, I'm really sorry. I'll make it up to you, I promise. Okay. Bye.
I thought it was only married members who had those conversations. OK. Time to have another crack at Helen.
Helen. Crime scene have lifted a clear set of fingerprints of Sheila Gardner's stairway banisters.
We're taking your fingerprints after this interview.
It's in your interest to tell us what happened. Sooner rather than later.
All right, let me give you a hand. Sheila sees the excavation work going on. She phones you in a panic. She also wants to make a statement to the police and tell them everything that happened all those years ago.
It was an accident. I was afraid Brad might be taken from me. I told her if we just said nothing, no one could do a thing. But she picked up the phone in the hall to call you people, and I yanked the cord out of the wall socket.
And then she ran upstairs.
I grabbed her. She wrenched away and she fell. I went down to help, but she was dead.
Well, then why didn't you report it?
I would have. If she hadn't been found so soon, I really would have.
Did you tell Brad about it?
Of course not.
I was wondering why he went to the house.
The only person I told was Barry Hoffman. And I phoned him to tell him to keep his mouth shut. I thought I'd lose him. He's all I've got to live for.
Yesterday morning, I got a phone call from Helen Delaney. She told me the grave had been found, that Sheila had died and how that happened.
Then she asked you to keep quiet.
But you didn't. You confessed to 2 murders.
I was selfish, and Eliza died. Killed Sheila too in the end.
Look, we can't send you to jail just because you feel guilty.
What about Brad's mother?
We've got to charge her.
It was an accident.
She struggled with the old lady at the top of the stairs. The old lady takes a dry dive. It's got to be manslaughter minimum. We might even get premeditation.
She died of a heart attack.
Caused by Helen Delaney attacking her.
Brad needs his mother.
By the time the defence is finished, the jury will be weeping buckets. We've got Buckley's chance.
In other words, she gets away with it.
Sorry for not looking after Eliza properly.
Carol. Brad, this is your grandmother, Carol. And this is your father, Barry.
You have her eyes. Your mother's. My daughter's.
You're the guy that stares at me from the street.
Yeah. Sorry about that. When I see you, I see her. Maybe if we could meet from time to time, you know, if it's okay.
What was she like?
She was beautiful.
I can't do hugging and that kind of thing, but maybe later.
Okay.
Look, the cases were linked.
If you want to get technical...
The cases were linked, right?
Yeah, but only because I found the button and the denim jacket.
Flukes don't count.
You want a real drink then?
Yeah,
Thought so.
because I feel like I'm going to cry.
Don't ask.
And for this, I'm missing a great concert.
I didn't hear you knock.
Hung one on, did you?
Say again.
Have a big night.
I still can't hear you. What?
Are you coming down with
Oh, there's
something?
no need to shout. No, I'm not. My ears are ringing. If you must know, you remember Grace phoned me at the pub last night? Well, you'd let Sam down with that concert. Well, she found somebody else to take her. Grace was a bit worried because he turned out to be a 25-year-old driving a clapped-out heap of junk. Well, I got home and discovered he just happened to be one of our more faithful customers.
Oops.
Yeah, oops. Oops is right. Well, to cut a long story short, I drove her to Melbourne myself. Endured several hours of musical torture.
They're a wonderful band,
Oh,
boss.
they're rubbish parish. Now I can't hear a thing. I've heard helicopter gunships that were quieter.
I'm very sorry for putting the job first.
Well, I might just accept a long black coffee and a couple of Tim Tams by way of apology.
So how come Joe passed on this?
Wouldn't have a clue, mate.
I mean, normally a CI job should be out the door before you finish asking. Or have you two had a blue or something?
VKC to Mount Thomas 509.
Mount Thomas 509 receiving.
Have a report of skeletal remains found at Lot 11 Bathsheba Road. See Mr Henderson. No further details at this stage.
Receive that VKC ETA 5 minutes.
Thanks, 509.
Well, the Kohlberg's going to have to wait.
Joe's kicking herself around the office. Eat your heart out, Parish.
Well, they're an absolutely awesome group, so I got tickets for me and Sam's tomorrow night.
In Melbourne?
Yeah.
I hope they're suitable, are they?
Yeah, they rock, they're loud, they're spunks.
That'd be right. I'll speak to Grace. Listen, I don't want Sam seeing any band that advocates drug abuse or killing police, for that matter.
Yeah, I don't think these ones qualify.
I hope they can play.
What are you doing?
Traffic reports. You want to help?
No.
You should have gone with PJ.
Oh.
Mr. Henderson.
Over here. Been surveying the block for development. Couldn't believe it when we struck bones.
Well, they just said skeletal remains. They look human.
It's you or me, mate.
Jonesy, get on the blower. We need all hands for a search, plus crime scene and homicide.
Joe's really going to be kicking herself this time, eh? Mount Thomas 509 to VKC.
We have Mount Thomas 900 to 2 local. VKC to Mount Thomas 900, go to 2 local, 509.
Mount Thomas 900 receiving.
Yeah, what do you got, Evan?
A shallow grave out on
Beersheba Road, remains look human. PJ requests all hands for a line search in the doorknob, plus the crime scene.
plus homies.
Receive that.
Oh, is Joe there?
Yeah, I'll be there to take over from you ASAP, Jonesy.
No.
PJ and I are doing just fine. I just wanted to say thanks, mate.
Hey, get a shot of this, mate.
Crime scene's on their way from St David's. Homies on the road as we speak.
You want me to take over from Jonesy from here, Peach?
Jonesy's up to speed. What I need you to do is door knock the houses across the street with Ben.
And ask what? Did you happen to see a body being buried here a century
Just get
ago?
on with it, Joe. Someone's nose out of joint.
Not with you.
Pete, got something.
God, I haven't seen one of these for yonks.
Wild man. Denim. Not familiar.
No, it's menswear. It was a really bad look. I used to own a pair of their jeans.
Bit of a fashion victim in our youth, were we?
No, just very trusting at the time.
Well, thank you. If you do hear anything, just listen up.
Yeah.
I only lived there 3 months.
There's no one home at mine.
Ben, here!
Joe, you okay? Joe?
Right, so she's up there, unsteady on her feet, stumbles, falls.
Hang on.